Neon Genesis Evangelion has been released on Netflix for a few days now, and it has garnered a large reaction, to say the least. There have been a fair amount of reactions to the iconic show finally streaming, from love and hate from new fans to love and hate from old fans. This is mainly the result of the show getting a new English dub, as well as some script changes with a few particular lines being cast under major scrutiny. There were also some other aspects of the show that were changed to make a bit of a situation out of it. The first and most apparent change to Neon Genesis Evangelion was that of the English dub. The entire voice cast has been changed, and the results are varying. Some characters sound as good as their original counterparts, like Misato and Rei. Some are much better, like Gendo and Kaji. And then there's the most divisive, the main character, Shinji. Now, I think the new voice actor does a good job, but not only does Shinji now sound more like a girl, I think a fair amount of lines don't end up having the same impact as the original. Overall, though, I think the dub is really good, and mostly better than the original due to the additional focus and effort put into it. And while we may have lost the pilot who sounded like he was from Ed, Edd n Eddy,
every single missile hit the target!
at least number 2 from Codename Kids Next Door voices Kensuke.
Yeah, about that. It seems Toji hasn't been at home.
One thing Hideaki Anno, the creator of Evangelion, loves to do in his work is to have black screens with text on them appear. This is present in both Neon Genesis Evangelion and his other works, including Shin Godzilla, and it's a major part of his style. Episode 14 has tons of these text screens, and is almost built around it, and those screens are translated with subtitles. The problem, though, is that those are almost the only screens translated with the subtitles. There are tons of different screens that pop up, but nothing is able to be gleaned from it by those not fluent in Japanese, which would be most people watching the English dub. This was a bad choice, as these slides are a major part of the story, and translations for them have not only been done before, but were also necessary for an entire episode. This decision to barely have the text screens outside of episode 14 is one of the few that's not understandable from any angle that you look at it. One of Neon Genesis Evangelion's most defining features is its incredible soundtrack. There are many different orchestrated pieces that can help instantly set the mood between joy, tension, anguish, and so much more. Obviously, the main theme of Cruel Angel's Thesis is also one of the greatest songs ever made, but the new Netflix version omits the second most iconic song from the series, Fly Me to the Moon. Originally, the Bart Howard song was played at the end of every episode, with different singers, sometimes even cast members, singing along to it. The sheer iconicness of the song makes it strange that Netflix will pay $100 million to hold on to the streaming rights for Friends, but won't spend any of that money to get the second most iconic song in Evangelion. A peculiar fact, though, is that this song isn't entirely gone from the show. In the Japanese release, the song still plays as the end theme, and music can be heard in the background of episode 17 when Misato and Kaji are talking.
Marduk Institute doesn't exist. Nerf itself arranged all this to happen.
Nerf itself? Commander Ikari?
Look up code 707.
707? Wait, that's Shinji's school, isn't it?
Ms. Misato?
Yes?
Miss Ritsuko wanted to talk to you about a trip taking place tomorrow.
Right, thanks, Shinji.
Even though the song is there in the background of the episode, its removal from the ending makes this version lose something compared to the original versions of Evangelion. Finally, we've reached the most controversial change yet, and that's of one line change that Kaoru says to Shinji. Originally, the scene had Kaoru saying to Shinji,
I love you.
Obviously, this was an important scene as it both showed a different side of Shinji's love life, opposed to Rei and Asuka, as well as somebody saying they love Shinji for the first time. The new Netflix dub has Kaoru say to Shinji,
I like you.
which many people see as straight washing this character. Dealing with translations is always a very tricky thing, especially when dealing with the context of the scenes and trying to convey like versus love. The Japanese word used is suki, and it does mean like rather than love, but it has a romantic undertone to it as opposed to just a level of enjoyment. This translation change, as well as others referring to the main characters as the third children for Shinji, isn't due to Netflix though. This was done by Studio Khara, and the new translation has some lines being taken much more literally than before. So while this translation is obviously a controversial change, it wasn't actually Netflix who did it, and it was an effort to be more accurate. This one-line change has been under fire for two major reasons, the first being the erasure of the only gay relationship in Evangelion, and the other being the narrative impact of Kaoru and Shinji's relationship in the show. In regards to the relationship erasure, it is undoubtedly less explicit, but it's still there. Remember, this line is uttered within only hours of the two meeting each other, and Kaoru's presence is still felt from this episode through the last two and into the end of Evangelion, essentially the rest of the series. While the Japanese word fits better in the context, There's an argument to be made from both sides of the love or like debate. However, with such an iconic line for an insanely iconic relationship that has branched out more in the remakes, not to mention this was during Pride Month, the hate it received is understandable. Personally, I don't believe the relationship was trying to be erased. However, the way they went about showing this new relationship in the new dub was not the best covered. When it comes to the narrative aspect, though, this can make Shinji's tragedy even more vehement. The original line has Shinji seeking love so desperately that he'll take it from anywhere, including an angel. However, the new line shows just how isolated and hated Shinji feels. Then Kaoru comes along and not only shows but tells Shinji that he likes him. That's the only person Shinji believes. This is backed up by how, in the end of Evangelion, Shinji imagines everybody hating him. Everybody except Kaoru, that is. This is also post-Kaoru Raid Giant Formation, by the way, so his feelings are still strong after that. Neon Genesis Evangelion is one of the greatest shows of all time, and even though this new Netflix re-release has been met with some controversy, it has still brought tons of new fans into the show. These controversies with this new version are all valid complaints, and while some are more important to the show and its culture overall, they have all sparked discussions about the show for a whole new generation. The Netflix Evangelion, just like its predecessor, is far from perfect in certain areas, but despite its flaws, this is better than what we had before. The visuals are better, the voice acting is, for the most part, improved, and it's way easier to watch than ever before. Truly, this is the best time to be an Evangelion fan. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you have any ideas on what I can do better, or any ideas on a video I should make in the future, please leave a comment down below. And if you would like to see more of my videos like this, please subscribe. Thank you, and have a great day.